I have a little bit of a confession to make. I am so over summer. I struggle hard in the summertime with seasonal depression, which is interesting and difficult because summer is supposed to be a season for adventure and having fun. The weather is beautiful and everybody seems to be having a good time. And there are so many aspects of summer that I love. I love going outside and reading under the trees. I love camping. I love swimming in lakes. But there's only so much of that you can do because life is very, very busy. And while I try to make time for things and I try to embrace the aspects of summer that I love, I've just been feeling over it lately. And so I decided to lean into parts of late summer, early autumn that I love so very much. And I decided to have a little bit of a Gothic summery day and get in the biggest fall mood possible. I'm going to try and get these 2,000 words out in a very, very special library. The library that I worked at was out of the University of Toronto. It's a very old library in Trinity College, and I was obsessed with it. I had the best writing day, and it was really quiet, and I was all alone in this gorgeous old library, and I not only got 2,000 words down, but I actually ended up drafting out the rest of my story. And it felt like a really good end to this 2K a day challenge that I had going on. In terms of my writing, I officially declared the end of my project 2K a day. I am very pleased with myself. I wrote tens of thousands of words this summer so far, and that feels amazing. And my goal is still to have my draft done by the end of this year, but I've been taking my time and savoring my writing a little bit more in the past week, and that has felt really good. I'm still managing pretty high word counts every day, and I think it's just the pressure being off makes it more enjoyable because I'm focused less on how many words I can write and more on the quality of the scenes that I'm putting out. And that just still makes me productive, which is fantastic. But that being said, of course, there are still going to be writing vlogs in the future. I am going to probably pick up my camera and start vlogging again this week and have a new writing vlog for you as soon as I possibly can. was feeling very inspired coming off of this day, and I wanted to lean into this feeling of late summer, early autumn, and I decided to pick out some vaguely gothic, atmospheric reads that I felt like were a good bridge between the two seasons. Because again, I'm trying really hard not to wish away the summer, but I am also leaning into the idea of late summer. And so I picked out some books that I thought would be a really good bridge read between the two seasons. I loved Edgar Allan Poe when I was in high school, and I've been meaning to dip back into his work for the past couple of years now, and I really wanted to read all of his works in November last year, but I never got around to doing it, so maybe I will dip into Poe for the time being and just read a couple of his short stories and maybe some of his poetry. He's very atmospheric, it's very mysterious, and I think that it will transport me to the moody skies of November whenever I dip into his stories. The next book that I didn't actually buy but I've had on my shelf for a while is A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians by H.G. Perry. This is a fantastical historical story set during the French Revolution. There is just something very, very atmospheric about historical fantasy, especially set during this time period. In the span of this video, I also picked up and read One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This was comped to one of my favorite books for atmosphere, For the Wolf by Hannah Winton, and I really liked this one. Again, it had just really, really good vibes and atmosphere. And lastly, this one was actually such an amazing find at my local used bookstore. It just came out. It is written by a Canadian author and it is called Where the Dark Stands Still. This book features Polish folklore, and I've seen some comps to Howl's Moving Castle online. I feel like it's a bit more of a cozy fantasy featuring a dark haunted wood, and that is perfect to bridge the gap between summer and fall, in my opinion. Something about the turning of this particular season from summer to fall feels like a new year to me. I don't know why. It feels like New Year's more than actual New Year's in January feels. And so I've been thinking about changing up my journal situation a little bit because I do like my sterling ink, but I am left-handed and it is smudgy and it started to get really, really frustrating whenever I was using it. I decided to switch up and go back to my notebook therapy notebooks because they don't smudge, and I created some new spreads. And I think how my bullet journaling is going to go is I'm going to basically make a spread for every week, every month, and then every single day I'm going to try to write and collage a little bit because it brings me such joy and calmness and peace. A big part of romanticizing the seasons comes from working in my bullet journal for me. Also, after my library session, I was feeling even more inspired to make my home as cozy for the oncoming season as possible. So yes, of course, I bought a new candle and I bought some new fairy lights to hang up around my writing and reading spaces. The candle smells amazing. It's pumpkin and eucalyptus, and I really like this company. Their candles actually last a really long time, and the containers are always really pretty. And I was feeling extra inspired to continue on the vibes, the Gothic summer vibes, and I decided to curl up, make myself a cozy little fort, which is something that I've been doing a lot this summer, and it's been really, really good for my mental health to just curl up with my cats and read or watch a movie. I decided to get curled up with a cup of tea and watch Dead Poets Society, which is a movie that I used to watch all the time in high school, and I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and it's phenomenal. It has so many gorgeous seasonal shots, and it was the perfect way to end this moody summer day. I hope that you are savoring the season and that you are not too sad and that you are looking forward to the things in life that bring you joy or experiencing joy in your life. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I hope you are staying creative out there. I will see you in the next video.